Hello, I'm Dr. Tamara Moody, and welcome to Autism 411. Today's episode, we're going to talk about what makes us more than a school, what makes South Florida Autism Charter School different. It just dawned on me that while we talk about autism, education, behavior, families, and the many things that happens in our community, I just realized that I haven't really talked about South Florida Autism Charter School, how our story began, who started this story, and our journey. So, this morning, I really wanted to get you guys to know why I'm so passionate about this place I call home away from home. South Florida Autism Charter School was created because children with autism, I believe, deserve educational environment that understands them. Not an environment where they are constantly being asked to fit into a system that never really was designed for them and never really thought about their needs. A place where the system is designed around every individual child. You're going to hear me say this, and you've heard me said this before in other episodes. Our kids are like snowflakes. There's no two that's alike. I remember when we first got SFAC started, I felt like we were just this circle that everyone around us was trying to put into a triangle, and we're not. We're so different. So for our student, education may not look the same as another student. And, before you out there thinking, what's going on? I'm at work and I have students upstairs. So you maybe hear noises in the background. And that's because, that's what our kids do sometimes. So for me, success does not look the same as everybody when it comes onto our school. Success looks different. Communication may look different. Behavior may be communication. Progress happens very small step, but these small steps can represent, oh gosh, big accomplishment. And that is something that we need to understand. So at SFACS, we don't begin with what should this student be doing to compare to everyone else. We begin with where is the student today and how do we get them to move forward. So what makes us different? One of the big things that makes South Florida Autism Charter School different is that autism isn't an additional service that we provide. Autism is what we do. Our environment, our classroom, our staffing, our instructional strategies, our behavioral support, our communication system, everything is built with the needs of our students in mind. If you ever come to visit, just look at the color of our walls, look at our bathroom, look at our furniture. Every decision that is made, we consider our student. We understand that academics are important, but education for our student has to go beyond academics. We also teach communication, independence, social skills, functional life skills, behavioral regulation, safety, self-advocacy, and skills that will help our student participate as fully possible in their homes and in the community. Because ultimately, we are not simply preparing children to move from one grade to the next. We're preparing them for life. Meet every child where they are. Think about how they communicate. Some students use sign language, some use an augmented device. Some student people just use the smile on their face to tell you how they're feeling about you. Some student may need significant behavioral support, while others be working towards greater independence. Some accomplishment may seem small to someone on the outside, but when you know that child and know how hard they've worked, what you may consider small is big. This is why we recognize our kids on a daily basis. That's why individual education isn't just about something we put on paper. It has to be something that we actually live every day. The importance of the school and family working together. And this brings me to something that I believe very strong. We cannot do this work without our families. I'm going to say that again because I don't think that the parents know how important they are and how much we as teachers appreciate them, because we cannot do the work without the families buy-in. There has to be a partnership between schools and home. When parents understand what we're working on at school and have the tools that they use at home, there is a greater consistency for their child. That's also why our Saturday programs are so important. These trainings aren't meant to be something parents simply attend because they're required. I want families to walk away with information that they can actually use. I want them to be better understanding behavior, communication, safety, and the strategy using with their children. Because education doesn't stop when a child walks out of the school building. And when the school and family are working together, our students have such a stronger team support. So let me take you back a little bit why we started. We started because a group of family and I wanted to do so much for the community. We wanted to be able to educate children and parents not feeling like, okay, I can't pay for a private school, right? I wanted them to know that they were going to get the same education at South Florida Autism Charter School as they would get in a private small setting. But I would say what makes us so different is because every board member who started SFAX had a child with autism, has a child with autism. And when we were creating this, we were thinking about how are these kids so different and how we were going to make educating them successful. How do we do that? Well, how do we do that? We did that by thinking about their brothers, their sisters, their neighbors, their cousins. What do they have that we needed to put in the school to make sure that our children experience the same thing as their brothers and sisters and cousins and neighbors? How do we do that? Well, we get our kids on planes. We get them on train. We take them to Disney. We go to the beach. We do field trips that they're going to feel like they're a part of. A couple of years ago, we decided that we were gonna take them on a plane. How can we do that if the kids are afraid of plane? Guess what? We partnered with the city of Hialeah. We got all of our kids' passports, and we were able to take a lot of our students on plane. And they were better behaved than my kids at home on planes. We have a prom for them. And not just a regular prom in the daytime. No, we did a prom that we encouraged them to get their hair done, get their nails done, and just have a ball. We do what our version of grad night. We do senior skip day. You know, every and anything that their brothers and sisters was experiencing at SFAX was going to do too. And we've been doing that. We have clubs. We are the first national key club for kids with autism. And that's big. Our kids love to give back to the community. They go and they clean the beaches. They collect items for like whenever there's a disaster anywhere in the world, we're collecting. We have a dance team. They go to dance shows. We have a basketball team. They go to the Miami Heat every year. We have a flag football. We have a soccer team. And gosh, we have a media club that makes the best movies ever. We have a cheer team that we just started recently. And this is not just, no, they get dressed up, they put on their makeup, and we teach them, and they have sponsors. Again, we've created an environment that kids are going to feel like they belong, like they truly, truly belong. And as far as I'm concerned, SFAX is like one of, if not the best school on our worst day, on our worst day, which we have some of those. We're still, I believe, better than everything else that's out there because we've created an environment that our kids feel like they belong. You know, the greatest feeling ever is when parents send me texts or call me or see me in the hallway and they're like, Dr. Moody, it's the weekend. Sunday, he's putting on his shirt. He's ready to come to school. Tommy is ready to come to school on the weekend because we've created an environment at South Florida Autism Charter School that our kids know that this is their campus. This is their campus, and everything about this campus was meant for them. It was created for them. So, yes, that's what sets us apart. I have the best parents ever. I have the best staff ever. And I can guarantee you that my staff could go elsewhere and probably make more money, but they chose to work here. And that's a big deal. And for me, it's like super important that people know that we're out here and Not only are we educating our parents and training them on Saturdays, we are making sure that we're training our staff, and we're constantly doing that. We're making sure that we're meeting every child where they are. We're making sure the community know that we're here. And it's so important that families out there know that, and people who are listening to us know this. The next couple of episodes, you're going to hear me talk about the different programs that we have in a little bit more detail. And for those of you guys who don't know, we take our student as early as kindergarten, 5 years old, and they get to stay with us until they're 22. And for me, we're just more than just a school. I often say South Florida Autism Charter School is a community. There are families who come through our doors who have spent years being told that their child couldn't do it. Sometimes they've been told that their child won't communicate, won't learn, won't become independent. I think part of our responsibility is to help families see possibilities. That doesn't mean pretending challenges doesn't exist. They absolutely do, but we can acknowledge a challenge while still asking, what's the possibility? What's next? The question that comes to drive, the question that drives me every day is, what can I do? Well, how can I challenge myself and my students? So, looking ahead over the next few episodes of Dr. Moody Autism 411, I want to introduce you to South Florida autism community. I also want to introduce you to why I'm so passionate about what I do. When I tell you love my job, I love my job. I say I am SFAX every day. I go by the signs, or I'll say to somebody, I'm truly SFAX. And I'm also going to be talking about our center. We talk about our adult program. We're going to talk about our residential, our friends off, all the different things that we are about to embark on, or we have embarked on. I want to introduce you to, again, South Florida Autism Charter School, South Florida Autism Center, Friends of South Florida Autism, Villages of South Florida Autism. And I want you to meet the people who've made this possible. And one of the things that I am saying to my staff every single morning at 7:20, we're one team. We have one mission in one community. It's so important that we live by that. So Dr. Moody's take, different doesn't mean less. Sometimes different simply means we have to be willing to build something that didn't exist before. That's what we did at South Florida Autism Charter School. We built a school around the needs of our student instead of expecting our student to change who they are to fit into a school. And every day, our student reminds us why they're worth it, why this building is so special. I'm Dr. Tamara Moody, and this has been Dr. Moody 411. Until next time.